there for many of the new immigrants from Ireland, Italy, and Germany. Many of them were Catholic. So they were afraid that when the stone came in, the Pope would have influence on the politics in here. So they came down in the middle of the night, beat up the guard, they took the stone and broke it up into pieces and threw it out in the Potomac, which was down at the bottom of the hill there. And they took over the society. And then the word gets out what's happened, and that's why it stopped.
Oh, okay.
That's where it stopped.
Oh, I got you.
Politics. 22 years later, after the Civil War, after Reconstruction, it finally gets started. Yeah, it was either tear it down or get started again. So
it was just a tower right there.
It was, yeah, it looked like a chimney.
Yeah, it was open.
It was open. There was no stairs. There was nothing. No, it was a tower. Or a chimney, and by 1876 it had become a joke. It was called the beef boat. Because out here were cattle and sheep and an army fort to look out towards the river. So Mark Twain writes about it in the paper, and he calls it the broken chimney in the middle of the city, and so. It was toward the end of President Grant's administration. He's in the White House by then, and most of his adult life he's been watching. That's all he's seen is this half-page monument. So he pushes on the Congress and he says, either you guys finish it or let's just tear it down. Because, it's becoming an eyesore. It's a joke. So that's when the Army Corps of Engineers comes out and they redo the entire foundation. They tear away the old foundation, reinforce it with concrete. The whole monument sinks about an inch, but it's intact. And then they build up. Yeah. And they went back to the old quarry, but by then, there was no more stone left in the old quarry. So they found a couple other quarries nearby, all in Maryland. But of course it doesn't match, and this has been out in the weather for 22 years. So that's what happens.
All right, that was very informative. Thank you.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of history to it. There really is a lot of history to it.
Is it marble?
Marble faced on the outside and granite on the inside. Yeah. And up to that 150 feet, everything was done by hand. Completely done by hand. Hand cut, hand chiseled, and hand pulleyed into place.
Woo.
Yeah. And then later on, when the Army Corps of Engineers takes over, they have steam power. And they use steam power to cut it. And then also to move the stones. They had a steam power machine that moves it up.
Oh,
yeah, you guys going up, okay?
Okay.
Yes, he was second to none in the humble and endearing scenes of private life. Well, here's a good lesson in grammar. Simple.
Okay, you guys are getting off at 500 feet, about 50 stories above Washington. Now on this level, you are in the tower. There are 8 windows to look out, 2 in each direction. And on top of the window is a photograph of what used to be out there several decades ago, maybe about 100 years ago. So see what's happened in the last 100 years out there, a lot. After looking through the windows, walk down the stairs to the next level. There's a whole display and history of the monument. Lightning rods, brand new lightning rods that are on top of the monument, and used lightning rods right underneath that. Shows you what happens when it does get struck by lightning, and it does get struck by lightning. That's where you're going to catch the ride back down to the ground floor, and there are lots of surprises on the way down. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Enjoy the view.
That's not so steep.
What do you mean?
Oh, wow.
That is.
Both the records on the book, it says the 2011 earthquake damaged a lot of the monument. And here's fixed the monument with metal bins and stuff. Yeah, there's the posts. You can see some of the repairs.
You can use it cold, but I don't really think it's on.
It wouldn't be tarnished marks down the side as it's corroded. Right? So they picked aluminum because it wouldn't tarnish. It tarnishes a little, but it doesn't leave those like streaks that like copper and other metals do.
就是一些人捐赠的一些。Patrick, would you want to be up here? 然后呢，这些私人的市民的方式建造的。I would not like that either. 是他捐赠的建筑，我们需要再买。